your instance in auto scaling, then only you can get recovery. See, for example, I am in Oregon region. So I have, I'm going to launch instance AMI Linux. And this is your very important server instance, like a web server. You are running on that particular region, and you have attached with your existing Linux security groups, and you have a key pair, that is existing key pair, which is already there. So this is the web server. So let's consider this is a server that is running on this region, and you don't have any recovery for that server. No recovery means you have not taken any image, and neither you have launched inside your auto scaling. So this means the instance is running without any high availability option, and accidentally someone came and just selected this one. It's gone, that's all, it's over, you cannot recover it back. To stop this behavior, so they have given a small recovery option. Thus we have a change termination protection. And when you enable this option, so you can see now there is, if you try to terminate also, this will be not allowing you to terminate, and it will be disabled. Okay. And this is just this does not protect if availability zone fails or region fails, still your instance will be running. We don't have that kind of recovery. That kind of recovery only which were only given to instance via auto scaling. So that is how the termination protection option we have. So disable it, and once you disable that, user can able to do termination. Or this is one good option to avoid accidental termination of instance. I'm telling accidental. So that is how you protect maybe Linux and Windows. Next one is general behavior of Linux and Windows is how to protect the boot volumes from getting the last demo I shown you how to protect your instance from getting access termination. Now next one is how to protect your boot volumes from getting terminated. Boot volumes which contains your instance, and general behavior of AWS is when you are terminating your instance. Okay, see there are two types of volumes are there. One is boot volumes, one is non-boot volumes. Okay, so here we have, and there are two types of volumes are there, boot and non-boot volumes. So this is a boot volume, and this which contains operating system. See, as I already discussed with you, in AWS there are two types of storages available: instance store and EBS backup volumes. So this is how to find this is EBS backup volumes or instance store. I will tell you. We know that instance store volumes are temporary in nature and it will be lost, but EBS backed volumes will be always permanent, it will not lost. And how to find this is EBS backed or is instance store? I will show you one lab now to find it. See, generally when you are going to terminate an instance, okay, when you are going to terminate an instance, so before I do that, let me launch one more instance. You have to know about Windows also. So let's consider this is your Windows server 2012, and this is just getting connected with my security group RDP3389. You have to open the port number. This is because of internet service slow, maybe because of that is showing you like that. Again, I need to launch. So this is, I have opened many ports, HTTP80 and RDP3389, also HTTPS. So I'm going to have the same key pair and launch it. So now I have two machines running on this region, and see, whenever you are going to terminate your instance, okay, and you can see now. So you have terminated. So one is shutting down and one is running. You know what AWS will do? He will also delete your boot volumes along with your instance. So this means you lost complete machine. So how to suppose you want your boot volumes to be protected and you don't want to be the boot volumes together should not getting terminated along with your instance. So let him terminate. So now it is getting shutting down. See, we have total 2 volumes available. Now, how many volumes are available? Only one. And what happened to that volume? It is deleted. So this is the major problems maybe you are facing when you are terminating your instance. So you don't want instance, but you need a volume. In that situation, in the critical situation you are in means there is a recovery for that. So, but there is no recovery here. So the recovery is when you try to launch an instance. There we have a option. Okay, what is this error? There we have option delete on termination. So you need to unselect this option to protect your boot volumes not to get terminated along with your instance. Okay. See this option they have provided to protect your boot volume as well as other volumes. But generally, when you're launching the instance, new instance from AMI management console, you find it there that delete on termination is almost activated. Okay, so delete on termination is almost activated. So again, I'm going to show you when you launch your instance, you're selecting your instance type. And there we have this option. When you create additional volumes, there is no that delete on termination is not activated. So this means when you terminate your instance, the boot volume we call as a root volume, it will get terminated by default, and your additional volume will not get terminated. It will be remain forever. Okay, so now I'm going to launch this one. I'm going to unselect this option, delete on termination, and now I'm going to add the tags. So that is protect boot volumes. So attach with your existing security group and review and launch it. And now you can see this is the same behavior for Windows also. Okay, as we have in Linux, same. Now you can see this is now running. Okay, now it's pending state, and now it will be running state as soon as possible. And you can see the volume is already started to run here. So that is tagged one, protect boot volumes. So now it's running. So now what you do, just try to terminate your instance, and you can see now they're telling you then delete EBS volumes, and they are asking you this one. See, which I done now. EBS volumes do not have this option. It will be set to true, and it will be remain after your instance is terminated. Okay, so now terminate and see it will be terminated. Most of the people does not aware of this, and they are getting the boot volume loss always when they terminate their services on any regions they're running on the servers. And now you can see it's getting shutting down, and your volume is still running. And what is the use of the volume is still running uh, with instance terminated? You can attach this volume with any other machines. Okay, you can attach this volume with other operating system which is running there. You can use as a secondary storage.
How will you protect a good volume?
Yeah, that's why I have selected deselected the delete on termination option. So now, if you terminate your instance, the boot volume will be remaining undeleted. You can see here, I'm shutting down and go back to your volumes, and here you can see it is not deleted. Perhaps
EBS will be deleted.
ephemeral storage. Ephemeral storage is that instance store means it will be delete the data. But EBS means EBS backed volume means it will not delete.
We are creating MS instance.
Correct. There are two types of volumes available: instance store and EBS. Instance store means it will delete the data. EBS will not delete.
EBS will not be.
No, this is EBS.
Okay.
I will tell instance store volume how it look like and give you a demo.
So here only by unchecking delete on convention, we are protecting root volume.
Root volume. But we are protecting the volume, okay? But inside that data is there or not? That is two types: EBS backed, instance store. If instance store, if you shut down your machine or restart your machine, the data will be lost. If you are in EBS means data will be remaining persist. This is EBS. How to find this is EBS or not? So when you clicking on that particular machine and you find it here as EBS, okay, elastic block storage. I have a lab for you like this one. Managing instance store volumes and EBS volumes in. What's the difference between these two? I'm going to show one live example for this. Okay, so now you can see this here. This volumes when volume is attached, it will show as in use. When volume is not attached, it will show as a available state. Okay, so if you want, you can use it. If you don't want, you can able to delete it. So now it is getting deleted. Okay, so let me have one more instance. So now this is showing what? Ephemeral. So that is hardware encrypted. So when you are choosing your instance, and AWS will give you that option. See, now it is ephemeral, and I can have new volume. So right now, this ephemeral in this case attached with your root, and it is coming along with you. Don't worry about that. I will be coming back. Okay, how to find the EBS volume type? That's why I've shown you. Go to tag. See, suppose you are see here when you are launching instance, maybe any instance. Here you have EBS, right? Instance store, correct? Instance store, all EBS only. So this all EBS volumes. Here this volume is a ephemeral. This is called if ephemeral store. This is a temporary one, which is they have provided. So when you're running this one, you can see add volume, and they are giving you EBS as well as ephemeral option for that particular instance type. So this is none. And sometimes when you launch your instance, after you launch instance also you can find what type of volume it has support. See, okay, basically don't worry about this one. See, now it's supporting only what? EBS. Okay. So this is AMI Linux. See, basically now two instances running and two is already terminated. Now, how to deattach and attach a volume? That's the next one I'm going to show you. I hope you understood how to protect boot volumes. Now, how to attach and deattach volumes in our Linux and Windows, and how to manage partitions. Maybe you are very good in Linux and Windows operating systems, their environment. Let me see. See here, when your machine is running, okay, and you cannot deattach the boot volume from that machine, correct? It will show you the error. Okay, this means this is obviously when your operating system is running, you are able to remove your storage. If you remove, it will be corrupted. So same as this, if you deattach the boot volume, it will not allow you to deattach. Now question is how to deattach a boot volume. Stop instance. Correct. So as you told, we need to stop the instance and then we need to deattach it. So let me stop this instance. So I'm not terminating the instance, I'm stopping the instance. So stopping the instance means I can able to deattach the boot volumes from the respective machines. Here we have the option, the question you have asked, how to find the root device type is what, ephemeral or EBS. So this is EBS. So now it is going to stop. So after you stop, you can able to deattach it. So now okay, stop it. So go to volumes, and here we can able to, there is option called deattach it. So now there is no error, and you can easily deattach the volume from that particular instance, and now both are show available state. Next question I'm asking, if you again you reattach this volume, it's again you reattaching this volume back to that particular machine, it should work or not?
Should work.
Then no, I'm asking if you again you reattach. Previously I deattached. Okay. If I'm going to reattach, it should work or not? It should work, correct? Otherwise, where I go for boot volumes? Attach. In this scenario, if you have other Windows Server 2012 boot volumes, that also you can attach. Okay, which is not intent for this machine. That also you can attach. Not understood the previous one. Okay, so I'm going to reattach it, which is stopped. Okay, so now go to instance, and I'm going to start. What is this actually? Is showing you what? Why is showing this error? See, it's not starting. It's not starting. I'll keep on give start, start, start. He will be blocking me, and he will not start. Same for Windows also. Correct. So you can see if you go for Windows, and if you go for start instance, and it show you the error. So what mistake I done? We done nothing. We have deattached and status we have attached, but now he's rejecting. The problem here is the boot volume names, because AWS refer boot volumes names. The root volume name is something called two types, /dev SDA, one is XPDA. So go to Linux machines and go to attach. While attaching, okay, so now it's asking you, it's just searching for instance. Oh, this is okay. So go to volumes and try to attach a volume and click on this AML Linux. Okay. And here we need to give SDA one. Okay. Attach it. You have to know, you rename the boot volumes. And here attach a volume, and for Windows you need to give /dev xpda. Okay, so that is the name. Okay, maybe xpda1. Okay, so that is not there, and give attach. Now go to instance and now try to access it. And okay, so I think the name which I gave is I have replaced the name. So Linux, it should come XPDA. For Windows, SDA. So XPDA. That is a standard. And attach a volume. And this is for Windows Server. So I'm going to give SDA. So let me launch it. See, now it's launching. Okay, so now go to AML Linux and try to launch it. This will launch. This is how. If you attach the boot volume, we have to give that exact name, XPDA, SDA1. Then only you recognize as a root volume. Otherwise, yeah, sure.
Now, you detach the boot volume.
Okay.
If you know bootable instance,
Okay.
attach with the instance.
Okay.
Once it is there, we cannot run the instance.
It's not working after deattach.
Now, if you are attaching, then only the machine will run.
When you are saying the boot volume, this changed.
Then machine will
Run. Then I back to.
Otherwise, instance will remain, but it won't run.
So now it's running, and you can boot it and access it anything you want. Okay.
What is the benefit of it?
Benefit means if somebody done this, they cannot start. Otherwise, until they know the exact volume ID, then only you can start. That's a general, because since AWS is based on Linux, so it will be behave like that only. For the not for this region, every region the same procedure. That's why we have. Let's we see how to attach additional volumes inside my Linux. See, basically, I'm asking. So you have a storage size is 8 GB or 30 GB. So do you think it's enough? It's enough. Okay. Suppose let me launch these machines first. I'm going to use mobile extern to connect my machines. So here I'm going for SSH. And I'm going to use the private key EFS mounting and click. Okay, so now let me launch my Windows server. So this also the same key file. So here first mounting, decrypt, copy this password and connect. Okay, so this is connected and this is already connected. So let me launch it. So this is my Windows Server 2012 and this is Linux. So go to home, go to the user. So now it will be starting up. See, basically, when you type lsblk, that's a command in Linux. So it will show you the storage type. Okay, that is called the file system, and file system UUID, that is universal unique identification. When it has just lsblk, it show you the storage size 8 GB. Okay. In case of Windows, and when you go to the primary console for Windows to manage the disk is disk management. Okay, so disk management, and you find it here that the 30 GB storage which they have allocated. Since you are a free tier user, you are eligible only for 30 GB of storage. If you cross the limit, you are coming under the payment. Okay, so since I was already crossed the limit, I am under the per hour on demand payment. Okay, so now what you do now, so go to your volumes, and since AWS EBS volumes of 5 types that we already discussed when we launch our instance, you are free to create any volumes and attach it. But here, when come to boot volumes, storage size is very less. So if you want to increase, you can increase. Click on that instance volume and click on modify volume. And here they are offering, if you want to change your volume type, also you can change only 3 because they are designed for booting purpose. If you have additional volumes, it will show 5. Okay, so now I'm going to give 500 GB and maximum how much? 16 terabyte. Each volume can be 1 GB 16 terabyte. In general purpose, if a provision IOPS 4 GB to 16 TB and magnetic, I'm sorry to say 1 GB to 1 TB. Okay, that's a storage performance. And let me give modify. So click yes, you can see it's modified and it should become 500 GB. Okay, so still 30 GB. So now change to 500. Go to Windows and now just refresh it. Once you refresh, it will be it will be adding you that storage, and now you can able to extend the volume. Suppose and you want to create a new volume, that is your wish. So that anything you can do. So I'm going to give this one that is 400 GB. So I'm going to give 200 GB and click next, and format with NTFS file system. You can see it's just added. And if you want to have a new volume, also it's possible. So you can have new volumes. So that is how it is. So you can able to create now the size of the disk is increased to storage. See how it is. Okay, and case of Linux, click on that modify volume, and here also you can able to increase the volume size. Click modify and click elevate. So go to Linux machine here and just type now lsblk, and here we go. The size is still is not modified. Yes, it's modified. Now size is 500 GB. So like this, you can modify. But the problem here is in AWS when you have given the size of the, so unfortunately you think, okay, I have given extended amount of size, I want to reduce it. It is not possible. AWS will not allow you to reduce because it will. This means you can increase, but you cannot decrease. I know because of what they are giving like this to put the payments. So you cannot decrease it, only increase. So unfortunately, you have given 16 TB. That's all. You have to take backup and delete and put it another.
Not even on customer service.
No, no. Customer service means
It will not allow from this. They won't contact customer service.
customer service. Customer service means see, each volume is 16 TB. That's all. That's the maximum limit. And if you want to decrease, maybe you call them and maybe you say maybe they will help. But
Mistake and they gave my
correct. Maybe, but they have not told anything like that. They will be giving some
honoring the request.
support for that. Okay, so that is the problem. You cannot modify. So be careful while increasing. You cannot decrease it back. This is how we just increase the size of the boot volumes. And now let me see how to attach additional volumes inside our Linux and Windows. You want additional storage, you can attach it. The only problem with this is when you attach additional volume, instance and volume should be running in same availability zones. Okay, and instance and volume should run in same availability zone. So since this is running on US West 2B on that region, so this means you need to create a volume on that region. Otherwise, if you created a 2C, there is no instance running on 2C, so that volume will not recognize it, and that is you cannot attach it. You can see here, you want to create a new volumes, any one of the volume you can create as a EBS volume, and you are created US West 2C, okay, and just type it. So I'm going to have name like 100 GB of volume. Okay, so just have this tag and create a volume. Volume is created. So now go back here and see the 100 GB volume is created. You can see here created. So now when you go to attach a volume, is what is telling? It's telling that no matching running or stopped instance were found. So this is because no machine is running on that particular availability zone. So this means what? You have to delete. Otherwise, you need to create an instance on that particular availability zone. Then only it will attach. So I don't have, so I'm going to delete. Okay. So I'm in all the instance which on this region is running on US West 2B. You see, so 2B. So go to volumes and try to create two volumes, one for Linux and one for Windows. So here we have a 2B and give some name and put it here like and like this is for Windows 100 GB. Okay, so now create another volume in US bus 2B. NX 100 GB. So I have created how many volumes? 2 volumes. So you can see it's created. Okay, so now attach it. So go to attach volumes and here you automatically finding or not because they're running on same availability zone. So click on that Windows server and attach. Go to Windows server. Here you can see the volume is already attached. What is the doubt? Okay, so now click online. So obviously you have to know the two partition styles, MBR and GPT. What is MBR? MBR means master boot record. So how much size of partitions he supports? Maximum size of the disk supported by MBR 2 terabyte. Then more than that GPT will support. Okay, and you can see in MBR you can create 4 primary partition, 1 extended, unlimited logical. In GPT we don't have extended, no logical, only primary partition, that is 128 primary partitions you can create. So that this story already we know inside our operating system itself. So this nothing to take with this with AWS. This is OS features. So how much OS support? That's all. That's the limitation. Okay. So click on this, and you know in Linux also have Windows also have a Linux style console to manage the partitions. We call as a disk part. So I think you worked with this part. Very nice tool. Let's see. Okay, this is a normal thing that they're explaining this and all. Okay, no problem. So how many disk is showing? Disk is 0 and disk 1. So select disk number 1. You can see now 100 GB selected. Okay, so now create partition primary slice. Okay, so now I'm going to have 10,000, so 10 GB. Here we go. Can see it's created. Correct. So I'm going to create partition extended. So remember this is MBR. Okay, so I'm going to extend that. So inside extended, I'm going to create a logical. This is the create partition logical size. Okay. So here you can see it's created. So I'm going to use list partition. So this is the partition. So I'm going to use assign letter. Like some letter K, and again I'm going to type this partition. So select partition number 1 and assign letter just like X. Okay? So that's all. So I'm going to exit and I'm going to format it. Format and yes, :q/fs, and default file system for Windows is NTFS. So now asking you to format it. And which one is next? Okay. Okay. Enter. Yes. And see, it will be waiting, and now it's ready to use. So this is this part. Very good. Like Linux, we can manage. So again, you go to this part and select this number 1 and list partition. If you don't want, delete it. Select partition number 2. Okay, so go style, delete partition. deleted. I'll go back to partition number 0, sorry, partition number 1. I think we now, okay, so now partition number 0, and that will be extended. That's right. So suppose we want to go for GPT, so here itself we can convert to GPT and we change to GPT. So these all things we do in Windows, but specifically not related with AWS. So AWS will give you the storage size, increase it, decrease it, use it. And they will give you per hour charge for that. Maybe your volume is attached or maybe it is available state.
Per hour charge is calculated after an hour or
After an hour. No, not an hour. Basically, suppose I have created, now deleted. So 1 hour charge they will put. Okay, so this does not mean that after 1 hour, starting minute they will charge.
So we don't use for 1 hour, we are using.
Yes, you are losing the expense. So now, how to manage the partitions for your Linux? So here we have, so attached, already attached, correct? Go back to here. This is Windows, correct? So previously I shown LSBLK, and this is the, I think it's not attached. So since it's showing only one, and try to attach a volume and find instance where is this AML Linux and attach. So go back here. So here you can see that is attached and this is a 100 GB. Okay, that is called XPDF1. So what you do now, at this /dev XPDF, try to partition. See, Linux is the only operating system. He can read more than 30 file system data. See how many file system he supports, but Windows supports only NTFS, REFS, and FAT6.